spam calls and the 49ers. I might talk a little bit about both. But last week, I averaged 3.5 spam calls on my cell phone a week. Now, these spam people, they think they're slick because they spoof the phone and they make it look like a 415 number because I have a 415 number and they think I'm more than likely to pick it up. But I'm one step ahead of them. I know their tendencies. I know the game plan. I know how to adapt and win in the inches. And it reminds me of Bryant Boyer, the Niners special teams coach. He's in Cleveland. It's windy. It's cold.
Mhm.
Brock doesn't play well. They're going against probably the best defensive line in football and the future defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett.
Yep.
And the Niners won in margins. They won with the special teams. Sky Moore, 66-yard punt return, CMC touchdown. Fumble on a punt. They capitalized. Jawad Jennings, touchdown. These are all the things that the Niners didn't do when they were really good, was the little things like special teams and defense and attention. Now it's like the reverse. They have to do all these little things to win. And now they're sitting at 9-4. 7th place, 2 games up against the Lions. They got 4 games left. I don't want to jinx them, but they're in the driver's seat, Big Ben.
They are. Not the catbird seat, but the driver's seat. In the NFC, it's anyone's game right now. And to your point, if you can win a game against the Browns with a special teams effort like you had, Jawad Jennings took one for the team too.
Yeah.
Tough. But CMC always gives you a chance, no matter what. He should be considered the MVP. Considered for the MVP.
Right now, it's Stafford, Drake May, Stafford. After tonight, it's probably Drake May.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at without CMC, Niners aren't anywhere.
Correct.
Mac Jones isn't winning games by himself. Like he was with CMC. I'm giving CMC the credit where he has had the biggest impact on his team relative to the wins. Plus minus, if you throw out the NBA stat, plus minus, he's like plus 150.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic because I think he's averaging a career worst yards per carry. But with those yards, he's still effective.
But yeah, that's relative, right?
Yeah, by his standards, he's having an off year.
CMC for MVP. They went out.
Wow, I like that.
We should get some money. CMC for MVP. Where are we going next?
Big Ben and K win for MVP of the podcast world. Hello and welcome to Big Ben and K win. If you're watching this live on YouTube, make sure you tickle that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up and maybe even a 5-star rating anywhere you get your audio podcast. You can find Big Ben and K win. It would help us. Thumbs up, 5-star. I'm K win. He's Big Ben. We talked about my Niners. We're going to do a little NFC power rankings. I think Big Ben wants to talk about the Bears. I want to talk about college football, the college football playoffs, and we may get a little bit of time for Lane Kiffin and the Los Angeles Lakers.
There is so much going on right now.
I know.
Tomorrow's a big day in college football land.
Yeah.
I went to a college football game this past weekend.
Let's hear about it.
I think anytime the Ducks come to town, I just love to go. As a Coug, I love to go watch these two fan bases mesh. Beautiful setting. It's cold. But here's what you could, and this is, Jed Fish gets this. He just doesn't have the resources Oregon does. And he knows if he's going to succeed in the Big Ten, he's got to beat Oregon. And he can't. I don't think there's a way. I don't think there's a way. But here's what I also saw. Damon Williams, that kid is small.
You want me to give you my Damon Williams impersonation?
Yes, go. Jeez.
I'm ducking down.
It is bad.
Passes.
It's bad. The reason he got good runs is because everyone lost him in the mix. Like he would roll out consistently, constantly. And the one thing I could tell you in going to games growing up at UW Husky Stadium, great vantage points where you can see plays open up. So like back in the day, you used to see, coverage broke down, guys open, get him the ball. And then it was like this kind of, baited. And then you didn't hear one iota or even one gasp of hope throughout that entire game. There was no one open in the secondary, and it was absolutely relevant to what Jed Fish has said. It looked like in high school sports here, we have 4A, which is at the top, and we have 2B. It looked like a 4A team playing a 2A to 1A team. It was just, the difference was amazing. And in the NIL era, it's going to be like that a lot, especially I think in the Big Ten, where you're going to have the have and have-nots. SEC is going to be a little more different. You'll probably find parity across each team as we've seen this year, but Oregon is good. They're big.
Good.
They're big.
They're fast.
They are.
They're loaded. They have like 3 running backs that could start at other Big Ten and SEC programs. They've got all these wide receivers. Their tight end and their top wide receiver's been hurt, and they're still winning. They're loaded.
Let's go Lane for a little bit.
Okay.
What's your take?
Capitalism at its best, right? He got a 69% raise. He went from $9 million to $13 million. The only person that makes more money than him is Kirby Smart. And here's why I actually love it, because I think Lane really wants to win. He wants to win a national championship. He looked around. He's like, I got a great offensive team. I can scheme it up. But in that second round of the playoffs or the semifinals, I'm not going to beat the Georgias, the Oregons, the Ohio States of the world, because it comes down to defense. And I thought long and hard about this after listening to some podcasts. If you're a 5-star defensive back, defensive tackle, defensive end, linebacker, you're either going to Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Georgia, maybe Bama. Mm-hmm. You're not going to Ole Miss. So, like, this actually gives him the best chance to use his offensive brain power and mix it in with some defensive recruits, 5-star recruits, to potentially win.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think the other part of this that a lot of people aren't talking about, and I actually heard it from some guy on Instagram, oddly enough, but I'll get it, cite my sources and give him some credit. They gave him $25 million a year in NIL money. $25 million a year. And this coming from, and you knew how sacred the LSU program in football was to Louisiana when the governor came out and called out the AD at the school and said, "You're an idiot. I'm going to make the call before you make another call." Like, that's how sacred. So the entire state is rallied around. There's no Louisiana State, a lot like Ohio State. There's Ohio State and the Bobcats of Ohio. You don't even talk about them. There's Louisiana State and Louisiana Lafayette or Louisiana. You don't talk about those two. I think Lane Kiffin saw that opportunity. Like, I can be the biggest of the big. This state is all invested. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have like a state-funded tax strictly for NIL. Like, you come and visit Louisiana, your money's going to the NIL fund. That's how. And the other part of it is, Lane Kiffin came out and said the college, like NCAA athletics or college football mainly, needs a salary cap or things are going to get out of hand. Everything's been ignored. There's nothing that's, Congress hasn't stepped in. So he's going to exploit that. He's going to go buy the best team and win probably 3 championships.
Yeah, he's got a shot. If you go back to your Ohio State comment, people in Ohio love Ohio State more than the Browns.
Oh, yeah.
More than the Cavs. And you could say the same thing in New Orleans. Like, they like LSU better than the Saints, of course, better than the Pelicans. Like, that's the number one sports franchise. All the eyes, all the money, all the resources to go out and win.
Yeah. And LSU is they have good women's programs, but it's football. Like, they have probably, I think, one or if not the biggest stadium. So in terms of the return on your investment from Louisiana with Lane Kiffin, who's probably the premier coach, in terms of, he's been everywhere. And it's not as though he's been everywhere. He's recruited everywhere. And I love how he leaned on like Pete Carroll. And Pete goes, "What would Monty want you to do?" To that effect. And Monty, would say, go to the program with probably the most resources, best resources you probably go to, that is absolutely fiending for a national championship.
Well, here's where I want to go next. I had some idle time on my hands this afternoon. You know what they say? Idle hands Does the college football work? So we're going to go through the 5 conference championship games this week in Big Ben. You're going to pick a winner, and I'm going to give you the scenario of how it's all going to play out in the college football playoff. And you tell me if you like my theories or if I should go kick rocks. First game, American Athletic Champion. This is the Group 5 team, North Texas versus Tulane.
Oh, my goodness. So I heard some rumblings that Ed Orgeron, who I personally love as a coach, he might go to Tulane. Which would be awesome for that program. But the guy at North Texas has him scoring like he's like the Mike Leach reincarnated. Like Mike's spirit came up and is now in this guy. I don't know his name, but the Mean Green of scoring. I think they put up like 44 points a game. Give me the Mean Green.
So I didn't think we were going to spend this much time on this game. But the winner is going to be the 12 seed. So North Texas will be the 12 seed.
12 seed.
This is where it gets interesting. We've got the Big 12 championship. We've got BYU versus Texas at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
BYU versus Texas.
I'm sorry. BYU versus Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Running away. Best D-line in the country.
And then with that, BYU is going to be out of the college football playoff. I think Texas Tech, if they win, they're going to be as high as a 3 seed. Right now, they're slated, I think, 4. They're going to move up to 3, and I'll tell you a little while later. SEC Championship. This is where the stuff starts to happen, Big Ben. We've got Georgia versus Bama.
Kirby Smart is a far better coach than Kalen DeBoer. That's all.
Bama won 24-21.
Okay, revenge game. Georgia wins.
Georgia wins. So here's my prediction. We've got the SEC. The winner of this game will be the 2 seed.
Okay.
So Georgia will be the 2 seed. Bama will be out of the college football playoff if Georgia wins, Big Ben. They'll have 3 losses. And we're not doing this song and dance again. Last year, Alabama had 3 losses, the only 3-loss team that was getting in. They're not getting in this year. If Bama loses, they are out. They're getting replaced by Miami. The Hurricanes will only have 2 losses. They'll sneak in and steal Bama's spot.
The ACC is so freaking bad. It's a mess. I don't think an ACC team should even make it.
So
it's bad. Like, it's a really, really bad football conference.
No, it's not. It's just a conference with a lot of parity.
They're all bad. Parity means they're all bad.
It was like
parity means all bad.
5-way tie.
Exactly.
Second place.
All bad. They're all bad.
Duke needed Cal to win, and I think Wake Forest to win, and they needed someone else to lose. It's one of those things where you see the scenarios, and it's like got all these scenarios. Yeah. Every scenario happened, and Duke won. Duke versus UVA. I want Duke to win. So this whole thing gets flipped on its head.
Yes, no ACC team then. Just no.
So if UVA wins, they'll be the 11th seed because the group of 5 will be the 12th seed. So if UVA wins, they're 11th seed. If Duke wins, they will be 8-5. They have to be a 12 seed. So then North Texas would be 11, and someone's going to get squeezed out. So Bama better win. Bama loses, they're out.
Okay.
Texas Tech, on the other hand, going back to the Big 12, if they lose, I think they're still get in. I think BYU would move up to like top 4 seed, and I think Texas Tech still gets in. All right, we've got Big 10. This is the game everyone wants to see. We've got Ohio State versus Indiana, and I think it's going to be a little anticlimactic because whoever wins is going to be the number 1 seed. I think whoever loses this game is the number 4 seed.
Agreed. I think these coaches are smart. They're going to literally, I bet you it's run the ball, someone kick a field goal, take a knee, let's get out of here.
They're going to try to win the game.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think, if you do win the game, I guess you get a bye, right?
Yeah.
You're guaranteed a bye. So you get the week off.
You lose the game, you're probably going to get a bye. You should get a bye. These are the 2 best teams in college football.
Yeah, I mean, that's saying that, right? Like if tomato, 50 cents one, half a dollar the other. It doesn't make sense for you as a coach to send your guys out there and like, I would do vanilla. Like, don't get hurt. Let's get healthy. Let's not have something happen. That's a worst case scenario. Like, your best case scenario is you go out there and win the game and no one gets hurt. But at this stage of the season, the probability of that happens pretty small.
I think that is Ryan Day's philosophy. Cignetti's going to try to win this game.
Of course, Cignetti is
recruiting for. Hey, this is not a one-year wonder. We're back. We're the best team in the country. Cignetti's going to pull out all the stops.
Cignetti's probably got an incentive-laden contract. Yeah. So, yeah, if you win the Big Ten championship and you're Cignetti, you probably take home another cool mill. I mean, then if I'm him, I say distribute that to all my players in some sort of NIL fashion. All of a sudden, they got some money in their pocket. Yeah, you're Big Ten champions, and I don't know, you're number one seed overall. Not a bad deal.
So here's what I want to get into. I think 3 of the top 4 teams are in the Big Ten. I think it's Indiana, Ohio State. Right now, I think Georgia, and then I think it's Oregon. But the committee will not give, in my opinion, the Big Ten 3 of the top 4 seeds and 3 first-round buys, even though, in my opinion, clearly they're the 3 best teams.
If Georgia loses, well, it's all about, I don't know. Like, this is still new, right? This isn't the NCAA basketball tournament that's been played for gosh knows how long. This is still new, the college football playoffs and scenarios and seeding. And they probably don't even have close to an algorithm. There's not enough data to figure out who should go where and why. And, there's always like, do we want 2 Big Ten teams playing each other in the second round? Do we? I don't know. But they are probably 3 of the best 4. The argument very much, I would say Texas Tech is a really, really good team too.
If IU loses, Indiana loses, they have 1 loss. I don't think you can rank Indiana below Oregon because Indiana beat Oregon. So that's why I think they have to be a top 4 seed, and they're not going to give Oregon a bye. So Oregon by default is going to be the number 5 team.
Very fair.
Now in the SEC land, they've got 5 teams in right now.
Shoot.
They've got Georgia versus Bama. Bama's like a 10 seed, I believe. We'll see tomorrow night. Ole Miss is in. They've got 1 loss. A&M's in. They've got 1 loss. Oklahoma's in right now. They have 2 losses. That's why I'm saying if Bama loses and they have 3 losses, I think Bama's out. I think Miami gets in. Why would you reward a 3-loss team?
Because you pay a conference that is 10 billion times better than the ACC. Like Virginia, who may win the ACC, probably wouldn't eke out maybe 3 conference wins with the SEC. That is a fact. That is a fact.
I agree.
So why would you put Miami ahead of a 3? I would take a 3-loss SEC team over a 2-loss ACC team any day of the week.
But Miami's being penalized because they can't figure out, the ACC, how to get their best teams into the conference finals. The Pac-10 struggled with this for years, the Pac-12. Miami should have there should have been a new tiebreaker rule that Miami should have jumped into the conference finals because that's the only way that they could theoretically get in. So the ACC messed this up.
ACC messed a lot of things up in the last few years. Getting Cal and Stanford, it's an Olympic sport league.
Should Bama go in ahead of Vandy? Vandy's only got 2 losses. Vandy's 10-2.
Yeah, there's a lot to debate there.
Yeah, that's why I think Bama's out if they lose.
There's going to be some ADs. But Vandy, Bama's just going to say, Vandy, what are you talking about? How many people are going to watch Vandy play anyone? And no one, right? Who's going to watch Bama? Half the country.
We are. Nick Saban. Are you buying this Notre Dame Miami argument? Miami should be in over Notre Dame.
That's one of those arguments you don't engage in because it doesn't really, I don't think. Let's have it in a week. I'd say, okay, let's stop the argument. Let's talk in a week because there's games to be played ahead of you that could impact whether or not you're in or not. Right?
Yeah, well, let's have it now because I'm pro Notre Dame. Like they have the same record, and Miami fans are like head to head. We should get in, but I'm looking at the losses. Notre Dame lost to Miami by 3, and they lost to A&M by 1. A&M's 11-1. Miami lost to SMU
Yeah.
and Louisville.
Those are exactly. This just garbage. Garbage. Miami is not a good football team. They're not.
What do you
They're
think of
not.
the ACC?
What? What do I think of the ACC?
ACC?
I mean, this year you called it parity. Yeah. Parity generally means like, oh, we have good, relevant teams. But no, you don't have good, relevant teams. Parity is to the ACC is just marginal, at best, 5-loss SEC schools. Meaning if you're an SEC, playing in the SEC, you have 5 losses. That's
I'll
it.
do you one better. I think the group of 5 winner, Tulane or North Texas, would have won the ACC this year.
Very fair. Yes, I agree with you.
Where do you want to go next?
I had my whole case for Texas to be in.
Do you want to talk about a 3-loss team getting in?
Well, let me say it like this. They have They have momentum. They haven't lost at home all year. They won the Red River Shootout, beating Oklahoma. And that's all I got. It's a pretty weak case, actually. Yeah. they're
Latier, like, broke his hand, came back to play, couldn't really throw. They lost to Florida, who I think is 4-8.
Florida's a tough out this year. They won some games. They won
4 games.
They would have won the ACC, all right? Florida would have won the ACC. So let's just leave it at that. But yeah, Texas, I just think this.
I don't think they get in. I don't think they should get in because you've got Vandy that's 10-2 in the same conference. So that argument should go to Vandy. Then if BYU loses.
They beat Vandy. Texas beat Vandy.
Okay, so they get in over Vandy. But they don't get in over BYU. That's 11-2 that has 2 losses to Texas Tech. I think BYU would get in over Texas.
See, this is where we're headed because, like, if I guarantee you this, if Texas Tech takes a dump in the college football playoff, you already used the term, so I'm going to use it again. If they take a dump, the SEC commissioner and the Big Ten commissioner are going to say, see, you bring the best from other conferences, and they're garbage. Give us our own tournament. Give us our own playoff. And the NCAA probably can't stop them, right? Your conference, you do it. And that's what they'll end up doing because it's more money, more revenue for those 2 conferences rather than splitting it to the Big 12 and ACC.
I go back to the SEC commissioner, Gene Sankey, and I say, who's won the last 2 years? The Big Ten, Gene. So get off your high horse.
Well, no, I'm saying that they're going to collab. Big Ten, SEC, boom. So those are the conferences that I want to watch play additional games. I would rather watch Texas play another football game against a formidable opponent than BYU.
I wouldn't. I've seen Texas on national TV. I'd rather see BYU play Texas
Name
Tech.
a player on BYU.
Oh, my gosh. They have that quarterback who's a stud.
See? You're proving my point.
They're not on TV. I can't see them.
Exactly. Because no one's watching them. No one wants to watch them. No one's calling up and saying, hey, put on some BYU football. No one is. No one.
But it's like the NCAA tournament for college basketball. I don't know some of these players on these teams, and they go in and they knock off a team, and there's an upset, and then all of a sudden there's a storyline, and there's players. You get to know them during the playoffs. I'm going to get to know
when
BYU players
shellacked?
This weekend. No.
See, you wait. If the ACC doesn't show well, and the Big 12 doesn't show well, and the Power 5 guy one and done, I guarantee you we're going to see Big 10, SEC, tourney. Everyone else can go play for whatever championship you want to come up with. Let's talk your Lakers.
Okay. The Lakers are 15-4. They've won 7 straight. But what does advanced analytics say about the Lakers? You know the answer. They're not a very good team because they're not in the top 10 in net ratings. Now, I don't want you to come at me about being a stats guy. The Lakers got Luka. The Lakers got LeBron. The Lakers are winning. The Lakers also play no defense. They've got a high usage rate. And if you're not in the top 10 in net rankings, that means you're not in the top 10 in the offense or the defense. And you know who's in the top 10 in net rankings? 4 other teams in the Western Conference. You've got OKC, you've got Houston, and you've got Minnesota, and you've got Denver. And you know what? All 3 of those teams play defense. So Luka's not going to average 37. He might average 32, but they're going to lock in based on those matchups. And the Denver has Jokic. So this is the same story as last year. Lakers are going to win a championship. No, they're not. They're going to get to the playoffs, and they're going to lose first round or even second round, depending on the matchups, to OKC, Houston, Denver, Minnesota. I'll throw in a 15. San Antonio. They don't match up to San Antonio either.
So are you going to stop watching the games at this point?
Absolutely not.
You just want to see it unfold, almost to say like I told you so. So because there's always a regression in the mean, is what you're saying. Is like you're playing far above what every data point says you should be playing at based on. Now tell me this: what if we've got guys that are called 3 and D guys, or you need defense so bad, just a D guy? Can we go get some of those guys and kind of?
You can, but the problem is what we saw in that Minnesota series last year, where LeBron, Luka, and Reeves have to guard Ant, Jaden, and Randall. And then also Ant, Jaden, Randall, and Gobert play great cohesive team defense. That's what I mean, like where the metrics come into play in a regular season when you have a defensive team that can focus entirely on another team for a whole playoff series.
What about a zone defense? Can we just go zone?
Yeah.
Just all you're on it. You're just on a string. You just got a little portion of the court that you got to guard.
Let me ask you this question.
What?
How effective do you think Luka's zone defense is?
As soon as that ball goes up, you
think he's going to the corner to close out?
No, he's not. He's not. But it masks the deficiencies a little, right? It provides a little, plugs maybe some of the holes. Maybe he's not exerting as much energy. He's only got to work within a specific area on the court.
If I'm the opposing coach, I'm putting my 2 best players on the side of the court that Luka's on.
Okay, we'll have a rotating zone. Box and 1. You'll get that 3 and D guy. We're just got to run around. Get Pat Beverly or something.
He's too busy podcasting.
I'm just trying to find solutions for the Lakers.
They are in a great position once they figure out how to transition off LeBron. I hate to say it, but they need to plug someone in who's more of a role player who plays defense
Bronny?
now in this stage in his career.
Bronny?
Maybe it's Bronny. Maybe he grows into that role. Absolutely.
Jalen Willams, if he was to be All-NBA, first, second, or third team, he would have this year. He would have qualified for like a not a super max, but
the super max. I think it's $287 million.
Okay, he would have qualified for the super max. By him being hurt, but you have to play so many games in order to qualify. He came back the game after, I think, it took to qualify. They saved $28 million. Now get this, Sam Presti. This allows them to go into get a player sign a player at a threshold of where you'd go get like not a veteran minimum, but kind of the next tier up. So the theory is Sam Presti knew this entire time. Jalen Williams knew this the entire time. And knowing that they didn't need him yet, everyone was happy. OKC is just a wonderful Mary friend. I want to go to dinner with all those guys. Just sit around the table. They're nice guys. Sam, remember that one time I took a potential? I didn't think I was going to. What if you just? They probably kicked him $5 million under the table. Like, just stay.
He
away.
got a Kawhi Leonard endorsement deal.
Yeah, exactly. He was hawking Mercedes-Benz of OKC or something.
You know, you're right. I think Jalen is such a team guy.
Santa Clara guy.
That Santa Clara guy that I would rather win multiple championships than get an extra 20, 40 million a year. So if you can use that extra 20, 40 million a year to get another dog on our team, I will come back one day after the cutoff so I don't receive the max. Absolutely, they had that conversation.
$100 million in OKC is like 20 million in California. Like he's probably bought half the state along with Chet and SGA. Anything else?
You want to talk about your Bears real quick?
I do. Because the fact they have the number 1 seed in the NFC now, and you can see Ben Johnson's like, this is working. He didn't think this would work, and it worked. It's working.
Listen, we didn't think this would work.
You
and everyone.
No one thought that this would work. So many question marks. Caleb Williams, like, kind of brand new coach, right? Year one's always like, even look at Mike McDonald. He went 10-7 last year, and everyone was like, okay, that's a decent year. That's what you expect from a first year coach, like trying to figure out the system. It's working. Ben Johnson. This should be called house money. So that's how they're playing. Like, it's working. I don't know how it's working, but it's working. But Caleb, here's my theory. Caleb Williams is a bit more mature. Ben Johnson doesn't have him doing things he shouldn't be doing. Meaning, Caleb, if you don't feel it, don't force it, run. Give you that freedom. And their defense is not great, but it's good enough. And they've been consistent. You and I talked about this. They have enough pieces where it's not one guy, but it's just the offense that clicks. And they'll put up, I don't know, what are they averaging? Probably 24 points a game?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
The scary thing
Bears.
is this actually might be their floor as the number 1 team in the NFC. And I say that because they're number 1 in the league in rushing. They're number 1 in takeaways. Like, they might not have all the defensive stars, but they make turnovers. And Caleb is playing okay. Like, I'm a West Coast guy. I want Caleb to do great. Like, he's playing okay. So if he continues to get better and the confidence comes, they're going to be scary good in the coming years.
I like what you said in just comparing them to the Lions of last year, right? You said, like, oh, Williams is more mobile than Goff, because you're just taking that offense and putting new people in it, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have DeAndre Swift, who's Gibbs, very light, and the new guy, Mastriani, kind of like your Montgomery. You don't have a alpha like you do in St. Brown, but David Moore's pretty good.
Maybe a Dunze grows into that?
Dunze, yeah, and then Luther Burden the third. And then you got
Loveland
and Cole
Cole Kmet.
Exactly. Doesn't it feel a lot like the Lions, just in a different place from last year? And they're fun. Like, I know Bears fans, and they are miserable the last decade because it just wasn't fun. It was boring. It was just tough to lose. They lose in crappy. This is fun. Ben Johnson is going to become the mayor of Chicago here soon.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
One on the road in Philly, like, that was a big win.
That's a measuring stick win.
That's a confidence booster too, right? You can go into Philly, Super Bowl champs. They've got all these athletes, all these dogs on both sides of the field, and boom, we smack them in the face and we win.
I think one team has the most momentum right now outside of the Bears.
In the NFC or AFC?
NFC.
Packers.
No,
Oh, you're going Cowboys.
I am.
Oh!
So
Packers look good on Thanksgiving.
They did. Jordan Love looked really good.
Christian Watson's back.
He just threw it up, and they went and got it. The Cowboys, though, Jerry Jones went and made 2 acquisitions. And
everyone was laughing at him.
Yeah,
who's this coach that they hired? Brian Schottenheimer?
And he's a scoundrel. He needs to quit running up and down the sidelines. Just relax. Just get a scowl going. Like one of these. Not just relax, Schottenheimer. Zach Wilson from the Bengals. Quinnen Williams, excuse me. That defense just needed a little facelift, a few more additions. They're healthy now. And that offense is pretty darn good.
Will they trade for Pickens? We're like, I
don't
know. They gave up that pick. I don't know if he's going to fit in. Oh, he's fitting in.
It might be the best duo going right now.
Better than Puka and Devontae?
Ooh, there's a lot. Puka, Devontae, T, and Chase. But I'm saying at this time, coming off last week where they both, I think, almost had 100 yards and a tutty. I want to hate Jerry Jones.
I want to hate the Cowboys.
I want to hate the Cowboys, but they're like the Pickens story. Pickens was just kind of shunned from Pittsburgh,
not a team guy.
Exactly.
Gives up.
Now, he's coming out and he's saying, "Yeah, me." They didn't say it, but yeah, me and CD kind of stayed out too late in Vegas. Our bad, So there's a little more Cowboys feel real. There's actual players you want to like on the team.
Here's why I like the Cowboys. Usually they're overhyped. They're going to win a Super Bowl. This is the Cowboys' year. But this year it's they suck. They're not good. Dak's overrated. And now they're the underdog. I like cheering for them as the underdog because they're not supposed to be here. They got made fun of for their coach that they hired. Bad trades. The franchise is crumbling. But no, it's not because once they beat the Lions this Thursday night, them boys are back.
Oh, gosh. And they have a tie. They tied. You're like, anyone who ties isn't going to make the playoff. Might have 2 teams. And you know why Jerry did that? Because if you don't sniff or your defense doesn't get better after you get rid of Micah Parsons, you got to go look in the mirror, buddy. But he did the right thing. Good acquisitions. Quinnen Williams gave up a lot. God, they gave up a lot of draft picks.
Man, my cell phone's not charging. You're not going to be able to call me tonight. But should we get out of here?
Let's get out of here.
At Big Ben Kwin _ anywhere you get your social media. That's TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Facebook. Don't forget to follow the Discord. If you're listening to this on an audio podcast, anywhere you get your audio podcast, make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. 5-star rate us. It will really help out a lot. More of a video podcast person? We're on YouTube. Drop your comments below if you're watching this live or on demand. I'm Kwin. He's Big Ben. In Miami, Duke are going to shock the college football playoffs. ACC is back.
It's never been here. It can be back. That's
when Donovan McNabb played for the Cuse, they were great.
Oh, come on. Now you're citing 3 quarterbacks that ever played in the ACC. It is not a football.
Lamar Jackson.
Literally.
Drake May, North Carolina. Wow. All they do is produce quarterbacks.
How did you know so many quarterbacks right out ACC? God, you are good. You're an ACC homer.
Some idle time on my hand before this
ACC homer. Wishing you went to Wake Forest.